Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about positive parenting with teens. I'm Rita and today it's all about you. Parenting a teenager is not always easy and the relationship is not always smooth. The family has to deal with the mood swings, the constant rule and boundaries defiance attitude, the constant search, the constant conflicts, the constant discussions. But for teens, life is not easy either. School challenges, the social acceptance, the family relationships, the physical and the emotional changes, the doubts, the mood swings, the search for a place, for a role, for something in life. So it is important for parents to understand all of these changes and to also understand that they are the ones that can change this type of things. They can even change the behavior from their own teenagers. And maybe can eventually think that it is impossible. It is not. It is possible if parents just try to be a little bit more positive and use this type of positiveness in the parenting actions and behaviors. Teenager years are very difficult because they are the transition from being a child to being an adult. And during these years they are not children, but they are not adults yet. This is a transformation period, this is a metamorphose, and it still depends on you as parent to deliver to the world a respectful, honest and organized and functional adult. You have to learn how to let them go before they really turn into adults. And for that you need to understand all of this grow process in terms of physical but also in terms of mental processes. Give time, give space and be around during all the way, because in certain situations your teen is still needing you. Use the sense of humor. Try to have different types of perspective over the same issue. Be kind, be firm, but also be encourage your teen to do the things that he likes to do and the things that he wishes to do also. Understand the timings to do a lecture to your teenager if something happened and if something it is different from what you expected. Not all the time teenagers wanted to be lectured, but they usually need a support of their own actions. They don't need your example, they need to live their own experiences. Of course, it is important for them to understand that you once were a teenager too, with expectations, with experiences and with different approaches. And the thing that they have to expect from you is your support, is your understanding, and not really your judgmental behavior. You can't really have the same type of control as before, as when your teenager was a child. Understand that now, besides being a parent, you are starting, or at least wanted to have a more friendly relationship with your teenager. Particularly in matters of trust, because when a teenager is secure that they really have the trust of their parents if they need it really helps increase their self-esteem and self-confidence. And you can only achieve that if you have different ways of controlling your teenager life. So quit the normal controlling way and keep your way as a friend. And of course you are still controlling your teenager, or at least you help your teenager in the control of their own life, which is totally different from the behavior that you used to have when your teenager was a child. And of course, all of these issues open another one, which is the communication issue that usually it's the thing that it's really difficult between parents and teenagers. So it is important for you to understand that you need to talk with your teenager. Do it without much expectations, because it is not easy to make a teenager talk and open up, particularly with an adult. But actually it is your role as a parent. You don't really control, but you open the communication door. You quit being bossy and start to ask the questions of things that you want to know. Of course, your teenager has to know that there are still rules, there are still consequences for certain types of behaviors. And of course, they are the ones that has to learn about priorities, that you have to understand that they always will be different from yours. And you have to respect and understand this fact, which is actually very important. Of course, your teenager needs freedom, but you are still a parent. So it's okay if you think about having or giving a curfew to your teenager, but he has to understand that there are consequences if this curfew is not respected. And because you are still a parent, it is legit that you want to know with whom your teenager is, where is he, and what he is doing. You are the parent, you know what kind of values you transmit to your teenager during all the times and all the years of your education, of your role as a parent, and trust in what you teach. Trust that your teenager will know how to make good choices, how to be responsible and honest, how to respect themselves and the others. Having a positive parenting is also avoiding rebellion and tantrums from your teenagers, avoid discussions, and maintain certain rules at your place that can give some standard and responsibility to your teen. Try to be involved in your teen life as a confidant. Promote a safe place without any type of judgment. Understand and support your teenager goals and wishes, but don't establish them for them, or don't do anything for them. They are the ones that, if they want something, they have to understand that there are meanings to get, and they have to understand and learn how to do it, how to achieve these goals, how to get what they want. Support your teen in healthy behaviors until you can see that they are able to do it by themselves. And for instance, your 12-year-old teen can maybe have some kind of advice about what kind of sport you want to choose for an extracurricular activity, but the same doesn't apply to your 16 or 17 teenager child. You can eventually give ideas, but he's the one that has to determine what they want to do and go to enroll themselves in that type of activities. Encouraged to learn how to take care of themselves in terms of healthy, hygiene, sleep, eat, and organization. Instead of punishments, you have to have agreements, which it can eventually sound very different, but the result is much more positive. Try to understand if you are pushing too much independence in a teenager, that it's not really ready for it. Promote every day some time for family. So promote family time is important, even if it's just for a few minutes during the meal time. But it's important that your teenager understand that there are certain occasions during a day that they have to reserve for being with the parents or with the family. And in the end, I want to tell you that this is never about you. This is always and only about your teenager that soon will turn into an adult. Understand that in this phase you still can teach the main aspects that you want to transmit to your teenager, and understand what is really important for you and try to communicate this to them. In general, in this phase, your mission is almost done as a parent, but understand that you will never stop being that, and probably you will be transformed also into not just a parent but also a friend and somebody that your teen and your child want to go to when they have a problem, when they need some kind of advice, or just to be around. So understand that the times that you were hard to educate your child, times that you were not really asked to do things, but say that there were certain things that they were mandatory. Understand that these times are over and all the things are different now and new. Also understand that the fights that your teen will have and all the things related to accomplishment and success from now on, it depends only on your teen, and not more or not much depends on you. If your teen needs or wants to accomplish certain things, he's the one that has to fight, and you just can advise and not much more than that. And because you are always be a parent, don't quit on your teen yet. Even if you don't see it, he always need you, and even if it's in a different way, he still needs structure and rules, and an advice, a hug, a comfort word in certain circumstances. And so that's all for today, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Leave a thumbs up, share with a friend, comment if you want, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!